Good day, class. For this week, we will be discussing solving trigonometric equations. So when we say trigo equations, these are equations wherein terms are trigo functions. For example, 2 sine x minus 1 is equal to 0, cosecant squared x is equal to 2, and cosine x is equal to sine 2x. Okay, so aside from the given equation, you will also be given certain intervals. Okay, wherein your answers are based on the given intervals. Here, our angle x can be between 0 and 360, inclusive of 360. It can be between 0 and 2 pi, inclusive of 0. Or other examples such as between pi and 2 pi, inclusive, and between 90 and 270, inclusive. These are just some examples for intervals. Okay, so before we go in solving trigo equations, let us recall the following first. Okay, so I have here cosine 30, 150, 210, and 330. Okay, so if you will notice, these are their respective values. Now, how do we get the values? All of the angles given have reference angle of 30 degrees. They just vary in the sign. 2 of them are positive and 2 of them are negative. Okay, so cosine 150 and 210, they are in quadrants 2 and 3, wherein cosine is negative. That's why it's negative square root of 3 over 2. The other two are positive because cosine is positive in quadrant 1 and in quadrant 4. Okay? So this is the before. Okay? This is our previous lesson. Our lesson for this week is about this. Okay? First, you're given a certain interval. So take note of the equal sign, which angles are included. For example, we're given cosine theta is equal to square root of 3 over 2. So how will you find the value of theta? Okay, first you have to determine the reference angle and the quadrant. Okay, so I know that cosine is square root of 3 over 2 at 30 degrees. And since it is positive, cosine is positive in quadrants 1 and 4. Okay, so here I can solve for my theta. 30 degrees in quadrant 1 is 30, and 30 degrees in quadrant 4 is 330. Okay, so these are the answers for number 1. Okay, so let's have more examples. So example number 2, tangent x is equal to 0, and x is between 0 and 360 degrees, inclusive of 360 degrees. Okay, so let us recall first, where is tangent 0? Okay, so you will not find this in the 30, 60, and 45 degree table. Therefore, the answer here will be a quadrantal angle. Okay, so you look at the table for the quadrantal angles and you will see that tangent is 0 if the angles are lying on the x-axis. Okay, so what are the quadrantal angles on or along the x-axis? So that would be 0, 180, and 360 degrees. Okay, but then if you will look at the given interval, 0 is not included. Okay, so we get rid of 0. Therefore, we only have two values. And we write our solution as solution set consisting of 180 and 360 degrees. So this is example number 2. Example number 3, sine theta is equal to negative square root of 2 over 2. And theta is between 0 and 2 pi. So using the table, I will know that sine has a value of square root of 2 over 2 if my angle is 45 degrees. and sign is negative in quadrants 3 and 4. Now, since the given interval is in radian, 45 degrees should be in radian. And we know that it is in 45 degrees radian form if the denominator is 4. So that would be pi over 4. Now, let us recall. In quadrant 3, we use the technique denominator plus 1. So, 4 plus 1 is 5. And then in quadrant 4, it's 2d minus 1. So, 2 times 4 is 8 minus 1 is 7. So, our solution set for number 3 are 5 pi over 4 and 7 pi over 4.